Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode 107 of Be With Me, and Jesus is going to tell us about himself today. We also hear just a little bit of what people's response to that is, which is that they want to kill him. And there are things that they sort of have a point, the people that want to kill Jesus. This is from John chapter 5. I'm going to start with verse 18. And this is some new material for the Jews that were interacting with Jesus, and it's some big stuff, and in a sense I think they responded appropriately. Here it is, John 5:18. This is why the Jews were seeking all the more to kill him, because not only was he breaking the Sabbath, but he was even calling God, his own Father, that is family, making himself equal with God. And then Jesus is going to explain this here over the next couple of passages. I'm going to read half the verses where Jesus explains to himself. So Jesus said to them, "Truly, truly, I say to you, the Son can do nothing of his own accord, but only what he sees the Father doing. For whatever the Father does, that the Son does likewise." Verse 20, "For the Father loves the Son and shows him all that he himself is doing. And greater works than these will he show him, so that you may marvel." Verse 21, "For as the Father raises the dead and gives them life, so also the Son gives life to whom he will. The Father judges no one, but has given all judgment to the Son, that all may honor the Son, just as they honor the Father." Here's the big qualifier. "Whoever does not honor the Son does not honor the Father who sent him." Okay, that's it for the text for today. This follows in the heel of Jesus' healing. On the Sabbath day, the guy who's at the pool of Bethesda, he heals him, but then he privately in the temple addresses the guy's sin. And so the Jews, they don't like that he is, they don't like that he's healing on the Sabbath. So they make a big deal out of this and tell him it's not lawful. And it's hilarious because Jesus is the one that makes the laws. So they're actually wrong about that, but they say it with great confidence. And here now they sort of come to some conclusions. And the conclusion is they seek to kill him. So they obviously lack the insight. If they had the insight, they wouldn't have killed him. All right. So we're going to hear just a little bit about the Trinity and the equality of Jesus. We don't hear much about the Holy Spirit in this passage, but that's coming later in the Gospel of John. So the first thing we hear about is that the Father loves the Son. So we have this approval, and we hear that verbally when Jesus is at the River Jordan getting baptized. But here we hear it that the Trinity, the building blocks of the Trinity, is love. The second thing that we hear about is this transparency. That for whatever the Father does, the Son does likewise. So there's this communication that's going on in the Trinity, and the Father is showing the Son all that he is doing, sort of omniscience between the Godheads of the Trinity. And so imagine, I was thinking about this, like, the idea of going to work with your parent, a shadow day. Imagine if we could do that, if we could go to the work with our Father in heaven and watch the thing that he is working in. And what we would find if we went to work with the Trinity, we would find that the Father and the Son are doing the same things. There's this little parenthetic comment that I love in here. So we're in the heaviness of who is the Father and who is the Son and what characteristics do they share in between them. And then there's this little teeny one about us, about humans, about people. And it's so that you may marvel. So when we get our arms around all these things about the Father and the Son being similar to each other, and being like the other person and being of the same character and being of the same characteristics, which we'll talk about in just a little bit here, that our response is supposed to be marveling. So here's some things that it says about him, that they're life givers. The Father and the Son are life givers. And we've all seen life ebb away with illness and aging and death in our friends or family. And we hear that the Father gives life, but we also hear that the Son gives life to whom he will. And it's a spiritual life that the Son's giving and maybe a physical life that the Father is giving. And this is above our pay grade, but it's not above either of theirs. It is the Lord, and let him do what seems good to him. That's a line from 1 Samuel 3:18. And I think our response to that is, oh, wait, we're not in charge of sovereignty. We're not in charge of election. We're not in charge of life-giving. We have to give space to God. So the first thing is life. The second thing is judgment. It says the Father judges no one. Well, we all stand condemned already. That's what it's already said in earlier in John. And he's given all this judgment to the Son. So number one is life. Number two is judgment. That's how they're similar. And they are allowed to call sin a sin. You already did that in the previous page. And then this final thing is Jesus is equal in God in honor. So if you honor one, you have to honor the other. And if you leave Jesus off the honor list, that's what it says is you can't please the Father, or you're not honoring the Father at least. Why? Because the Father sent him. The Father sent Jesus as the big answer to the big questions. So our response when we find out, number one, that Jesus is equal in life-giving, and number two, he's equal in judgment, and number three, he's equal in honor, our response is to kill him. Oh, wait, I don't like the Bible. No, that's the wrong one to do. It's to know him. It's to appreciate. It's to see him and recognize him in these three things, life-giving and judgment and honoring. And may this lead to our worships. May our meditations, number one, be accurate. May they be bathed in truth, and that's what he's kind of listing here. And these are the ways that he wants to be known, as he wants to be revealed, as he wants to be shown to us, and then let us yield. Let's let him do what seems good to him. He's the Lord of life. He's the Lord of judgment. And we should honor him as such. Thanks for listening. I'll see you tomorrow.